Title: Shadows of Desolation. Among the forgotten woods of Desolation Grove, an eternal shroud of darkness concealed unspeakable horrors. Its menacing trees bore twisted, gnarled branches that reached out like skeletal fingers, obscuring the pale light of the moon. A lone traveler, Emily, ventured into the grove seeking refuge from a relentless storm. The ancient trees seemed to whisper secrets, their rustling leaves forming an eerie symphony. As Emily pressed forward, the forest's atmosphere grew suffocating, and the air turned icy. Suddenly, a piercing howl echoed through the trees. Emily's heart raced as her flashlight flickered, casting erratic shadows. In the distance, red eyes gleamed, piercing the darkness. A low growl reverberated, causing the ground to tremble beneath her feet. She stumbled upon a decrepit cabin, seemingly untouched by time. Desperation overcame her fear, and she sought refuge within its rotting walls. The interior was cold, damp, and reeked of decay. Unearthly whispers seemed to emanate from the very walls themselves. As Emily huddled in a corner, a chilling breeze swept through the cabin, extinguishing her feeble light source. Complete darkness enveloped her, broken only by the crimson glare of the eyes just outside the window. The cabin creaked, and the walls seemed to close in on her. Suddenly, the floorboards beneath her shook violently, and the walls began to bleed an oozing, black substance. In a cacophony of shrieks and groans, the cabin contorted and twisted, as if being consumed by an otherworldly force. The red-eyed creature's presence loomed ever closer, its grotesque form now visible through the disintegrating window. It was a monstrous amalgamation of twisted limbs, rotting flesh, and jagged teeth. Its unearthly growls vibrated the very air. Emily's terror was paralyzing, and she felt a suffocating weight on her chest. The creature's unholy gaze fixated on her, driving her to the brink of insanity. Desperation overcame her paralysis, and she screamed, her voice drowning in the symphony of horrors that surrounded her. Just as the creature's talons breached the threshold, a blinding light erupted from Emily's trembling hands. The cabin disintegrated in a torrent of light and shadows, and the creature let out a guttural scream of agony before dissipating into the darkness. Emily awoke at dawn, nestled amidst the unmarked trees of Desolation Grove. The sunlight felt like salvation as she stumbled out of the forest, shaken and scarred by her ordeal. She turned for a final look, catching a glimpse of the grove's interior, shadows that seemed to dance with a sinister glee. To this day, the locals tell stories of Desolation Grove, where the darkness hides unimaginable terrors. They whisper of the lone traveler who survived, forever haunted by the shadows that cast long fingers across her soul.